all of us come from different backgrounds. That is diversity. We could come from different countries. We could come from different...
Welcome to the show, Fabiola Doano.
Thank you. Hello, Cayde. How are you?
I'm pretty good, thanks. So before we get started into what got you into Apoyo courses, what led you to run your business, just a bit of background for everyone at home, the business specializes in DEI courses and inclusion and anti-racism. For those who don't know, what is a DEI course?
Diversity, equity, and inclusion. It involves everything, really. All of us come from different backgrounds. That is diversity. We could come from different countries. We could come from different places in the UK. We are different abled. Some of us are neurodivergent. Some of us think in different ways. And some of us may have a disability. So that is the diversity. So everybody work in different ways. So it's having everyone together and understanding each other. Equity, it's really understanding that what everybody has to say. And inclusion is listening to them, making them part of the party, listening to their opinions, and together with equity, making sure that they are delivering in the best way that they can. There are reasonable adjustments in there. I mean, some people need some areas that are quieter than others because they have some sensory issues, or noise are not good for them. So just trying to create spaces for everybody, because everybody work in different ways, everybody think in different ways. We're all different. That's the beauty of it. So diversity, equity, and inclusion is really making people know and understand that we are all different, and we are all amazing and unique in the way that we are. So that's what it is.
Would it be fair to say that you've created a business to promote the traits that people have from birth? So with me, I've said it on the show before, I've got autism, which is something you have from birth. So it's more tailored to people like me, where we have the disabilities, we have the disadvantages. Like, I've known a teacher and a cook who've literally been born with an arm which cuts off here. Is it from, and this is something they've had all their entire life? It's not like, oh, someone's come on and go. Is it fair to say that DEI courses are designed for people like myself and those who are just like, yeah, from the word go, we've got a handicap in some regard?
Well, the course is not to be delivered for just this particular people. The course is to be delivered for everybody, to understand everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just to let them let them realize their own privileges, because we all have privileges, don't we? When we talk about privilege, we think it's about having a lot of money, but it's about being part of the royalty. But really, privilege is something different. We have the privilege to have an able body when other people need to use a wheelchair. And then it's not that it's wrong to live in a wheelchair. The wheelchair allows you to move around and to do your things, but it's more difficult. We don't realize how difficult things could be for them. They may not have access to as many things as easily as we do. So it's just realizing what privileges we are. Now, in the Equality Act 2010, neurodiversity is included as disability, although we know that is not really disability. Neurodivergent people are really people who think in different ways, that brains function in different ways. But with the societal model that we have nowadays, we need some reasonable adjustments for people with, like yourself, autism or dyspraxia, dyslexia, and different other ones, to be able to fulfill it, to be able to work better. A person, as you said, someone who doesn't have part of the arm or the arm itself, just to give them the proper. I don't say you must have this and that. I just give them some understanding how it may be to be a person without all the privilege that we have, and then we start talking about maybe some reasonable adjustments that could be done for different type of people in a workplace. So it's mainly to open people's eyes, because sometimes we have bias. We all have bias, and we don't do things really intentionally. Most of the time they're unconscious. We don't realize, and we don't notice our privilege until we lack of it, or until we understand what other people go through, but we don't. So that is just kind of letting them know, letting them see, what is more hard, is more difficult for these people than for us, So it's mainly just to give them awareness and knowledge about some things.
I want to come back to where I would normally start my interviews with people and ask, how did you get involved in running these courses? Because originally you started your career as a tour guide and a leader, and then you went into teaching. How did both of those experiences lead to you running your company and providing this service to other organizations and companies? Because I don't know, to get this out of the way, but it sound to me, what I'm hearing is you must have gone through some kind of, I don't mean to stereotype, but for the lack of a better term, is it fair to say you went through your own form of discrimination because your background, because you're originally from Peru, and that would come with some stereotype of, I don't know any South American stereotypes, just to get this out of the way, but it might come with, so those South Americans are all this, that, and the other. I don't know whether you experienced any of that.
Yeah, you're right. I did experience different things like many people. I come from South America, Peru, as you already said, and I moved here. I used to be a tour guide and a tour leader. That's how I met my British husband. And then I moved here to the UK. So he was my tourist. So when I moved, also in Peru, I had the privilege of being a native speaker. So when I came here to the UK, I realized about that privilege when I didn't have it anymore. So I wasn't a native speaker anymore, which was fine. I still spoke the language. I was guiding people in English in my country. But as you can notice, my accent is still there. For many years, I tried to get rid of this accent. I tried to, for many reasons. But nowadays, I'm in peace with that. I'm proud of that because it tells my story. It makes me who I am. So that's part of me. Where I come from as well, we don't talk about mental health even nowadays. And when I came here to this country, when we say mental health, we just relate to people who are these type of people. And when I came here after some time, I always thought, when I heard mental health, I said, there's nothing to do with me, I don't have mental health. So I used to think that I was that ignorant about that. And it was until a difficult time a friend of mine was going through. And I was told about this course. So I went to this course just to become a mental health first aider. Nothing to do with me. It's just for a friend of mine, So when I went to this course, I realized that there were many things of my life were related to that. I didn't know this, but I did have postnatal depression when I had my first baby. I didn't know what was happening to me at that time. What I understood was, once when I was at Sercvies, I thought I was having a heart attack and I thought I was dying. And I understand what I had was a panic attack. So all this anxiety disorder as well, anxiety issue that I had with my panic attack, my depression after the birth of my child, my thoughts that I had, I didn't realize that it was part of my depression. And I do talk about these things when I'm in my courses, because everything needs to be clear, and everybody talking about is a very important thing. So I thought that what I was having was just a normal thing, and I just had to go through it. So I started to understand myself a lot, not speaking the same language all the time, not understanding everything a lot. Yes, it was a bit difficult because everything is together, Not belonging is a very important thing. And there was a time when I started children's schools and all that I didn't belong. I wasn't understood. I'm not saying people were awful and they did it on purpose. They just had a bias. And many times when they started to listen to me and hear my accent, they used to believe, oh, she won't understand, she's stupid, or something like that. It's the bias behind them. So there was a time with me when I just didn't belong. But in my case, I had an amazing husband. I had an amazing British family, and I have my children. And I wasn't as vulnerable as many people are. So even though I had these in my life, I had their support. I didn't know how they were supporting me, and I didn't understand it at that time because I wasn't a mental health first aider yet. But when I did the course, that really opened my eyes, and that is, apart from helping me support other people, it has helped me to help myself. I can talk about that now, to heal myself as well. as well as supporting other people. So that's why mental health is something really important to me. DEI is very important to me because belonging is a very part of your life. If you don't belong, then you cannot be part of that community. We are social creatures. We are social people. We need to belong to a community. And some of us need a smaller community, some others need bigger community, some others just one person, but we need to socialize with someone. So that's why I'm doing this. That's why this is part of my life as well, in a summary.
I think that's actually quite a noble intention. And as you were saying about the communities, I couldn't help but think a really weird example. And I know this will rile some people up. I instantly thought of incels because the reason I think of that group, yes, they're not exactly the. I would admit, you listen to what they say, you think, go away. But they feel isolated. And the reason they're congregating together is because they're with other people who share similar beliefs. And with the whole, social side of things, people are naturally going to gravitate towards a group of people they feel more inclined with, whether you're conscious of it or not. Just to use me as an example, I don't feel as if I really connect with people where I live. But me and you've gone to the same networking group. I go there. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of home here. You know what I mean? And I understand where you're coming from when it's like you come to the UK from South America. You didn't, and the cultural differences. I was talking to my PT funny about this earlier because he lived in another country for a bit, and we were talking about cultural differences with coffee, which you'd be surprised. It's kind of interesting, and then you've come in, you've had your own experiences, and you want to kind of help others who haven't had that same experience as yourself.
So yeah, I think it's very important one. And you mentioned culture here as well. I mean, little things. I've been here in the UK for about 20 years now, so I feel more. I'm British as well, so my children are British and British and Peruvian. We have both nationalities, and I'm very proud for them. I mean, they love when they come to Peru and they can see the two different kind of culture, that inclusion, that diversity, everything. I mean, in our house when we speak here, we speak Spanglish. Because most of the time we have to speak Spanish, but then they mix it with English every now and then. But it's just having the chance to go and speak to my parents. I mean, little things. When you are invited in Peru to come for a coffee, you don't just get coffee. And that was the first thing when I had here. You get a table full of a lot of bread here, and then avocado to put on the bread, and then you get a ham and your cheese, and it's a proper meal, you know. So the first time I came here and we had people coming for we offer a cup of tea or a mug of tea. I felt like, oh my goodness, I need to go and buy something. And my husband would say, no, that's enough. Hey, if we want, I think we have some biscuit. I had to put at least some biscuit. It was quite hard. It was difficult, but it's just different culture, different ways of doing things, you know? So it's just these little things but I still nowadays, I mean, if we do things, I always, my Peruvian side still comes and I try to do a bit more, but not that it's less here. It's a bit more my ways of I did in Peru, just to make it a bit different sometimes. But yeah, culture is a very big thing. And understanding that from the start, I didn't expect, and I don't expect people to get me from the start or to be the way I am just because I came from another country. You know, I came to the UK and I'm trying to adapt to the way of people living in here, but at the same time, I need to maintain my own identity because that's who I am. I'm mixing Peruvian, Latin American with European, British culture together without losing one or the other. So my children have those two things. Sometimes it could be difficult to get lost in one or the other. We were going to London at some point to learn some Peruvian dances with my family, because my husband and my children are British. So they don't dance the same way as a Latin American person. So we went down there and we learned to dance some Peruvian dance, La Marinera, and they enjoyed it. It was really nice. So it's just giving them a bit of Peru as well, because here in the UK, well, they get everything British, which is something to be proud of as well. But they need to be proud of their Peruvian roots. So I'm trying to mix the both things together. And I think that's important for them as well. It opened their view of the world. It opens more doors, and well, speaking another language as well. You know, the Spanish language is so well spoken in so many countries in the world, so it opens more opportunities as well.
I think we've kind of accidentally digressed here, but I think,
I know.
yeah, but the points are still valid because that leads to my next point is so with a Apoyo
Oh yeah.
course, Apoyo, yeah. For those who don't know, that was means support in Spanish. Fun
Yeah,
fact.
yeah, well
Yeah,
done.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
really good.
yeah. So just fun fact for people at home. But how do you provide that awareness with people's backgrounds, the anti-racism and the mental health side, with the diversity we talked about earlier, with the disabilities and potentially being stuck in a wheelchair your entire life? How do you provide that to organizations? And do you approach people or do they approach you for the support?
It works either way. I mean, they I have a website. They can contact me and say, I would like to either do either of those courses, or if I contact them, we talk about the organizational needs, what they need. For mental health first aid courses, there are 5 different courses. There's the longest is the 2-day course where everyone who participate belong mental health first aiders, and then they support their community. That is an MHFA England course that one I will deliver. And then for my DI course, there are 2. There's a full day and a half day, which is awareness, and the DI, the anti-racism as well, is a full day and a half day. So I speak to the company, see what they need, what are the courses that they may need to have, and that's where we start doing the delivery. It could be done either face to face. I go to the organization, I deliver in their premises, or we can do it online as well. Either of those work well. So the mental health first aid course, as I said, is from MHFA England. Anti-racism is from EDP training, and the DI in the workplace course is an Apoyo courses is my own that I prepare for companies.
I think that's a wide range of services. Would you say that companies and organizations typically know what they need? So let's say they come for you for a DEI course, but then you look at them and go, actually, you'd be better off with the mental health course. Have you ever, how would you, okay, so you have experienced that. So how would you break the ice to these organizations in a nice way of, by the way, this is not what you need. You actually need the other thing. You see
It
what I'm
has
going with?
happened. Yeah, I mean, we have some time to speak in advance. Nowadays, what is getting very asked for is the DEI course, mainly because of banter and how banter goes across the other side of the line. And that's what we talk about DEI, how to respect people and stuff. But when they said, actually, this is what happened to me, sometimes they either need both of them, or I would say, actually, maybe you need to do this one instead. I talk to them about the contents of the course and everything, and then they decide. So by knowing the contents of the course, they said, oh, actually, I would go for this one first, and maybe in another time we'll do the other. But yes, I mean, it's with a conversation before. The anti-racism as well is getting a lot of interest. Anti-racism, I mean, is part of DI, but it's a thing on its own. You need special time for that, because there are so many misconceptions about that as well, and so many bias with that. So they get asked a lot. At the moment, it's more DEI that is asked a lot in companies. I was doing only a 1-day course, and an organization just asked me if I could do an awareness, a half day. So I am actually delivering my first half day course tomorrow for an organization. It's going to be 2 in 1 day, so it's very exciting. So I just kind of tailor it a little bit for that.
How do your typical training sessions go? So you turn up, you've had that conversation with whoever's coached you beforehand. Can you talk me through, not the context of your course, but just like a typical 2-day course, let's say from start to finish?
Okay, if we do the 2-day course, which is the longest, the mental health first aid, it starts from 9 in the morning up till 5 p.m., the 2 days. So if I go to the premises, they get their material, workbook, they get lanyards, and at the end of the course, they get a certificate that lasts for 3 years. And during the course, there is always a presentation, and I always take my fidgety toys for them to play during the course. Fidgety toys, which is really good, not just for neurodivergent people or person with ADHD, but for everybody, because it helps with concentration. And I do have my fidgety toy, and I play with that while I'm talking to the person. It's not me talking all the time. It's interactive. They stand up all the time. They work in groups. There are conversations. There are different things. We use big flip chart paper. and they do works, and we do conversations, and so it's interactive. It's everybody participating. So I make them stand up for all the able to stand up. If they cannot, they can just raise their hand if they are sat. And every single word is listening there. So it's very interactive. So obviously we have lunch in between, and then each session has a break of 10 minutes or so as well. So then it's not 8 hours just of work. There are some time off as well in there. Yeah, it could be good fun actually.
When I ask a question, I'm more involved what is discussed in there. So not the structure as in, oh, then we do this module, more as in, so with the mental health course, what more the topics you cover?
We talk a lot about many things, but some of them we talk about anxiety and the different anxiety disorders like panic disorder or ADHD, OCD, GAD, generalized anxiety disorder, PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and different anxiety disorders. We talk about depression, we talk about as well, and we are very straightforward talking about and we stress how important it is to talk about it. And we talk about psychosis, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, which are under the umbrella of psychosis. We talk about eating disorders. We talk about substance misuse, and then we talk also about recovery. Yeah, we talk about all these kind of things. We talk about active listening, how we can talk to people, how we could start a conversation, how can we support someone, and addressing that we are not psychologists, that we are not psychiatrists or diagnosticians or counselors. We are becoming mental health first aiders. So the conversations that we have with people are just that, conversations, but we do it in an active way, active listening. And we kind of practice. There is not one way to do it, but we have the basement of how to start a conversation, how to listen to people, how to support them, and how to signpost to professional help, because we are not professionals. How can we encourage them to seek someone else? And at the same time, while they are seeking professionals, we can still support them, and following up, and always following up, and being there for the person. So that is mainly what that 2-day course it's about. And big importance in self-care as well. All this as well adapted to the workplace, because in workplaces as well, we're all humans. So, and then different workplaces are having groups of mental health first aiders now that are supporting other people. And many people that come to my course for organizations, they say, I wanted to come to this course because something happened to me. One of them said, got a phone call saying that my wife passed away. I was destroyed. I was at work. And these mental health first aiders noticed that. They helped me. They took me out. They spoke to me, and they made a massive difference, because I didn't know what to do. I was in my desk and I was really breaking, and they came and they helped me. So I want to do the same for other people. So it's seeing these comments or people saying, thank you for this. I know how to support my husband, how to support my partner. I know how to, I understand my mom going through this, because my mom was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I was really ashamed of her, but I understand it better now. And it's so many things, and it's that fulfillment. It's knowing that you are making a difference all the time, because you don't know, for any of these courses, you don't know what's behind everybody's smile. You don't know what everybody's going through. So it's really important to give this kind of message. And it's really amazing when I hear all these comments, and when I know that this course is really making a difference.
It's fair. You're saying about understanding that at the end of the day, we're all human. We all go through a different thing, and we, on the surface, we seem fine, but in reality, we're not. It's kind of like, the best way I can describe it is, I don't think you've ever played this, but if you've ever played Persona 5. Okay, long story short, it's a video game where they hide behind. It's like, screw society. We wear masks or that, but it's like, you're wearing the mask, but you're looking behind the mask, if that makes sense. Why did I use Persona? That's a bad example. Whoops. But the point I'm going with it, it's more, you're looking past the facades. There's a Japanese saying that's always stuck with me. There's 3 types of faces. You got the one that you show in public, you got the one that your close friends and family see, and then you've got the one only you see. It sounds like you're trying to train people to, well, that you're training people to look past the first mask, the one they show to the public.
It's kind of sometimes making them see maybe something like that. It's kind of letting them see. Sometimes we see someone who is not, it's unkempt, and they're not themselves. They're not showering. And the first thing we do is criticize. For goodness' sake, they're just kind of stinking here, or they're alcohol at this time in the morning. Instead of thinking something may be happening to them, we are like, oh, for goodness sake, it's stinking at this time in the morning. So it's all these things that we see on the outside. It's like, oh, they're so antisocial. They are so grumpy all the time. They are this, they are that, because that's what they're showing in the outside. Or maybe on the other hand, is the person who is doing all the tasks and is the one that is always here, is always there. Oh, here I am. Yes, is the happiest one. Is that kind of person as well. That's the kind of person I am as well, because when you feel alone, sometimes you just want to be needed. You just want to be there, and you are doing everything just to be there. And then sometimes you are hiding how you're feeling in the inside. And that was me sometimes as well. So instead of criticizing, really, is trying to see, would that be something else behind it? Is there anything else? Just not criticizing people and trying to get to know them a bit more. Maybe they're just grumpy. Maybe that's just the way they are. Or maybe there is something else that is happening to them, That's why I'm saying when I deliver my courses, we don't know what's going behind any of our smiles, including mine, because I'm a human being as well. So many things that could have happened in our lives and we don't know. So it's just trying to be a bit more slower in making assumptions or anything, just trying to think before. I know it's easier said than done. I mean, I'm imperfect. Of course I make mistakes. Of course I criticize people. Of course I do that. And I try to stop and I try to say, oh, goodness me, maybe there's something else there. I'm going to try to talk to them. Sometimes they don't want to talk to me, and it's okay. They don't have to. But what I can say, if there's anything happening, you have someone else to talk to. Try to talk to someone you trust, and it's okay if you don't want to talk to me, but just find someone else. And it's just keeping an eye on people, It's just to be, I always say, it's like trying to be a better human being, really, because we all go through that. It happens. We all have mental health to start with, everybody, no exceptions. And it's part of our overall health. Like physical health, sometimes we have a stomach ache because we had food poisoning, or I don't know, we broke one bone, then we're not. That same things could happen with mental health. It's not as easy sometimes as physical health, because with physical health, you can see it, you can feel it. With mental health, is not that obvious sometimes. And the reasons sometimes we do not show it is not because we want to pretend and we want to be different to ourselves. It's mainly because we are afraid of being judged. We are afraid of the stigma that people may have towards us. No, if I say how I feel, they're going to think I'm not reliable. They're going to see I'm weird. They're going to see me as someone that they don't want to be with. So that kind of thing is going to stop us from opening up. And if someone is having suicidal thoughts, the main reason is they don't talk to people because they know they will scare people if they talk about it. Because if someone tells you, what, I have suicidal thoughts, most people say, what are you talking about? You're mad. What's that silliness? Goodness sake. Or so many things. We would say so many things. Oh, stop talking about something so stupid, So we would be having that reaction, because that a reaction that most people would have. So that's why they wouldn't say it. That's why talking about suicide is important. If we ask them, we can see how they are. They've been through depression. We ask them, how are you doing? And then say, are you feeling It's not that we are going to make them take their own. It's like most of the time, it's taking a weight off the shoulders. It's like saying, oh my gosh, I can talk to them. And that's what I did with a friend of mine. And I said, it's okay. You can talk to me. I'm not going anywhere. Tell me how you're feeling. And just being able to talk about things, it's important, you see. So that's why it's many reasons why we don't show how we feel in the inside.
Is that what you is that your end goal once you've given organizations and other companies your courses, is to make them more, or the people involved, more aware and more understanding of what's going on in their lives? Because as you were saying about but it's like with I've had my moments where life has genuinely been a mess for me, and everything's been down the toilet. And I wouldn't talk about it, not because I'm afraid to talk about it, but I'm afraid of the repercussions. That makes sense. So The one's a good example. I won't talk about it because then everyone else gets involved. So I'm thinking, no, I just want to say my thing, get off my chest, and you all do one. Is that it's like kind of like a weird dynamic in that situation. So I think it's fair to say you're trying to the aim goal with Apoyo courses is to help people become more aware of it without it escalating too far, because that's the escalation can also get away. Yeah, they might talk to you, but they don't want you going to talk to someone else.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot. It's not a counseling session because I could have like 16 people, and it's mainly giving them aware when they have their conversations in groups. They could, in the first one, they could talk about something that happened to them, to someone, as far as they want, if they want to. I cannot go in deep with everyone. I mean, I deliver so many courses. Humanly, physically, I cannot support and give counseling to everyone. But what I do is I give these skills to everybody to support each other. So in each group, if it's from an organization, in each group, I said, you all are mental health first aiders. You know each other, support each other. So I give them the tools, I give them the knowledge, the training, so then they can support each other. As a one person, I cannot do that because I wouldn't have time for that. And then in the courses, for example, the longest is 2 days. But I mean, if I have 16 people, which is the maximum I could have, if we start having a counseling session, we wouldn't go with the course itself. So what we do is just giving them really the knowledge and the tools for them to support themselves if they are not with. Sometimes I have groups that belong to different organizations, like I did myself. I support myself as well. But then I have people close to me, my husband, one of them, that I can trust and I can talk. So we need someone to trust in. I spoke to my husband about this. He didn't know sometimes because I didn't understand it myself. And I did tell him this is how I felt for some time. And then he said, oh gosh, I didn't know. How can I help you? How can I support you? I said, you have no idea how much you've been supporting me already. So just keep doing what you've been doing. Just being there for me, you know? But it's just nice to have someone that you can open up to and you can just talk. I'm not saying talk to everybody because, to be honest, not everybody cares, and that's it. So just talk to people who really are there for you, and that's what I do, you know.
One last question. You've actually, and to end on an upbeat note, you've won some award. Well, you've won a award for your work, and you're a nominee in. I looked it up last night. So, what's it like to win awards and be nominated for awards for your work?
Yeah, I won the award for Mental Health and Inclusion Training Provider of the Year. It's quite long. Not long ago, was in, oh gosh, when did I go? July, August? Yeah. So I went to that one. And then I'm part of the SBS Small Business Sunday, which is a group that is run by Theo Pafitis. So I'm part of his team. He was one of the Dragons then. And it's an honor to be part of that group. And finally, I've been nominated for Diversity in Education for a diversity organization in Cardiff. Master in Diversity is the name. And then I'm a finalist now, and results are going to be on the 18th of November. So we're going to go there for the event. So we'll see how that goes. It's very exciting. It's an amazing group in South Wales as well. So I'm just looking forward to that.
And this episode will be out once the awards ceremony. I can't talk right now. Once you find out whether or not you win that award, so that'd be something worth mentioning. Fabiola Doano, everyone. Where can people find you if they want to learn more, and where can they find you if they want to book your services to improve their organisation?
My website is apoyocourses.co.uk, and my telephone number is 07960 426 326. So just call me whenever you need me.
If you enjoyed that episode of Fabiola Doano, then I know that you will enjoy this episode with Daniel Johnson right here. Go on, I'll see you there.